Hey YouTube, welcome back to my page. This is Aurelia's Bibliotech, and today I'm going to do my very first book haul video, and I wanted to show you guys some books I got a couple weeks ago. And I went to the Goodwill, and this particular Goodwill, and probably the last in my state, sells things by the pound, so it's kind of like weigh and pay, and the books are 50 cents a pound. So this day, I think I got 54 pounds, about 25 bucks, 25, 30 bucks, something like that. And this is some of the stuff I got. So this is a Red Book magazine from June. I think it's in the 50s, right? 1948, June 1948. And what I'll probably do for this video is, for this item, I'll do kind of a whole video where I go through this book page by page. It's really, really interesting if you're familiar with Red Book now. It may be similar. I get Red Book in the mail. I might do a side-by-side comparison. We'll see. Something very interesting. I was looking for old books. I collect and I resell a lot of times. And that's just part of my business model. So I got this Red Book magazine from 1948. I probably shouldn't be handling it without wearing white gloves, but that's one of the things I got. Put this on the side. My husband picked this up. I was going to take all their books, but then I realized they had a lot more than I thought. He said he wasn't really interested in. It's called a Family Car Song Book. At one point in time, it's $4.95. And it's tattered. It's so tattered. Like, I don't even want to touch it. But it's from 1983, so it's not that old. This is 83 and it looks tattered. And this is from the 40s and it looks nicer than this. So, I got that. I got a lot of kids' books for my kid. Also, for the book reading part of this channel. I want to make sure that I'm reading older books because fair use is a little bit better with those books. When you get something newer, they don't want you to read it. They want you to kind of critique it. And I might start doing that so that it can fall more in the fair use category. So I got this one. I've never read either one of these. It's Christmas light. I love Christmas books. Mittens. This is pretty good too. But I probably won't read this because Scholastic is the imprint of, I can't remember, but they don't like it when you read their books. I think it is Scholastic. So I'll have to double check, but I might not put this on there. But I have a podcast. I can put it there. And I can also put it on my website, which I'll give you guys a link to once I start uploading regularly. Rugrats, Space Invaders. Pretty rough condition. But for these kids' books, this from 98. Probably just keep them. So I don't have plans to resell them. The Dress Up Parade, that looks fun. And my kid, she's into all kinds of stuff. She's only one, but she doesn't really like things in her age range. She likes, look at sitter. She likes things a little older. She's already in like a 2T. Bernstein Bears. And I grew up with these books. The Right Number Elephants. Never read this one. Oh, I really, really like this book. Mighty Mighty Construction Site. So, I mean, these books alone, if you go to a thrift store, it's probably $1 or $2. Meanwhile, I got a whole lot of them for a lot less. What pet should I get? I love Dr. Seuss. If you've been on my channel, I don't really get to read a lot of it because it's really, really long. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I think I picked this one up. Not my husband. And this is a long book. I'll probably keep it for my kid and not read it. Or if I do read it, it may be a voiceover, maybe. Something like that. Tales from Fern Hollow. I've never read these books, John Patience, but I've heard this author. He's pretty good. So I really wasn't all that much into, like, kids' books until I got a kid. The night before Christmas. Now, this is a classic, right? Classic. I have to read this for Christmas time. The Giant. I really like hardback books, and I love books that are very well illustrated because it captures the imagination of kids and the attention, really. Keep them focused from longer on the books. But this is very wordy too, so I'll probably just keep that for my kid. The Incredibles. And I got a sticker book too. I'll probably gift it to my nephew for Christmas. He loves those kind of books. Now, this is a scary one. Pumpkin Tea. I probably won't keep this for my daughter. I'll probably read it and then maybe gift it out or donate it or something like that. I donate to a lot. Now, this is just weird to me. Coco's Kitten, if you guys ever heard of this. And it's like a true story about an ape named Coco and a kitten. And I guess the caretaker or the handler came up with this book. I love these princess collections. I love Disney. I love the princesses. My favorite is Princess Jasmine. And Pocahontas is probably my two favorites. I love Little Mermaid as well. Okay, so here we get into the adult books, I believe. So, I am obsessed with that show Elementary that came on, I believe it was ABC, but I watched it on Hulu. Obsessed, and this is the complete works, and I've never read any Sherlock Holmes mystery, so I'm very eager to sink my teeth into that one. This is an educational book about oceans. I'm not really sure. A lot of information. I'll probably keep it for my kid. This is like wallpaper for a kid's room. The Ravens. Baltimore Ravens. I don't know why my husband got this book. I have no idea. I know certain family members who are Ravens fans, though. My mom loves the Steelers. Glory by the Wayside, the Old Churches of Hawaii. Now, I love this. I love these kinds of books. I love these thick books. They're $30 new. And the thing about this book is it's in great condition. The pages are glossy. I love looking at pictures from Hawaii. Never been to Hawaii, but I would love to adopt from Hawaii. Now, this one, that's really interesting too. 1,000 dot animals. I don't know who would do this. It's definitely maybe something I'll give away. Not something I would do. I don't have that kind of patience. Great speeches of the 20th century. And this is probably going to be part for my podcast. And I love good speeches. I was an English major and I taught argument. Like, that's my favorite thing to teach when I was teaching English 101. The Caretaker and a Dumbwaiter. It's 2 plays, and the most reason I got is because look at these notes in here. I love looking at old notes that people wrote inside of books. Kind of thing like, what are you thinking? And I just love found things, right? This Hershey's cookbook. I like this. I thought it would be pretty rare, pretty unique, and something I can resell, but turn out something I can resell. So I might just go ahead and keep it and try to find some recipes that I can do. One Diva's Dance. Now, I love poetry collections, so this is an easy pickup for me. 2004. You gotta be very careful with stuff like this. I love reciting poetry on this channel, but something too new, they might not like that. Low Carb Among Friends. Just a little curious about this book, but I don't like cookbooks without pictures, so I don't know what's going to happen with this book. This is the stack I have left. A few more things, and they're mostly fiction, so let's get through it. I wanted to start a encyclopedia collection because when I was a kid, I had the world something. I can't remember exactly, but it was World something. And my mom had the whole collection, and I love being able to look up stuff as drop of a dime. And I feel like nowadays people are too connected to Google, really, and they don't want to look things up. But if you're inside of a encyclopedia, is probably more legit than some of these websites you find answers on. Of course, Stephanie Meyer, I love her. I cannot resist. I have several copies of this. I have copies of all the books. House of the Scorpion. I wanted to get paperbacks because they're lighter and cheaper. This looked a little interesting. I'm not really sure what it's about. And I have 50 Shades of Grey and 50 Shades Darker. I read the whole series. I pretty much got all of the books, maybe save the one new one. James Patterson. When I worked at the library, James Patterson books just kind of flew off the shelf. So I figured I'd get that. I have another James Patterson here. And it's Step on a Crack. And I got these just for my DIY projects. I want to do a lot of art with books. I would like to do some kind of table. I've seen a bunch of stuff on Pinterest where people use books to kind of stack on the table, use some kind of adhesive, and then put a tabletop on top of it, which is really interesting. But I also like to review some of these books if I can. These are the rest. I love this title. Nikolai, this is about the Antichrist, I believe. Love Letter. Kathleen Shine. Did End Dating. Not really sure what that's about. Bad Girls in Love. Kind of drew me in. I feel like I know Voight, that author. Second Summer of the Sisterhood. No, that's the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I like the movie, but I never really read the books. My Notorious Life. Not sure about that one. Confessions of a Shopaholic. I recognize that author, Sophie Kinsella. And of course, Rogue Wave. I kind of love those dark, vampy type books. And I guess it's from my fascination with Twilight. These are the rest. We are nearing the end of the pile. I thought this would be nice and rare, something old. I love to have a old-timey rare book, kind of a library museum at some point. Name Your Baby. Now, I got this because this is how I come up with names for my fiction stories. I actually research names. The Partridge Family seems like a classic to me. Everyday Simplicity. Not quite sure what this is about. A Practical Guide to Spiritual Growth. And I love stuff on spirituality. I love Joyce Meyer. I love the Jesus Says books. The Boy Who Couldn't Stop Washing. OCD. I'm just really curious about what's this book about. And I'll probably do the first chapter Judgment. Or the first page Judgment. I don't know. I'm probably start that series back again. And of course, Dr. Phil, the Ultimate Weight Loss Solution Food Guide. I love Dr. Phil. I want to do a series where I review books from celebrities because I feel like if you're an author, you're usually just an author and you're not necessarily an entertainer or, I guess, a reality star and author. I feel like people should stay in their lane and leave the authorship to the real writers. But I digress. This is my book haul. So I have this pile, this pile, this pile, this pile, and this pile. And I do have another set of my hauls. I came back a couple days after I got this haul. Not as much, maybe 30 pounds, and I'll go through that maybe in a little bit more detail. But thanks for dropping past my page. This is Aurelia Bibliothèque. Auf Wiedersehen.